woman to run for president was?
The first man who what?
The first woman to run for president
The first
was?
woman to run for president.
In a major national party? Hillary Clinton?
No, there was a woman that ran in the 70s.
Oh, before her?
Yeah. I don't know that she was part of.
Breaking news for people across America. Hillary Clinton was not the first woman to run for president.
Victoria Woodhull ran for the highest office in the land, led women's suffrage, fought for free love, and became the first woman stockbroker on Wall Street. She spread her stance of equality across the nation. In 1870, she based her presidential campaign off of women's rights and equality. Victoria's campaign caused much controversy. Woodhull's childhood was unstable. She lived in a poor household with 10 siblings. She was treated like a slave, which impacted her life and made her want to make a difference in the world. Victoria was 15 when she married Canning Woodhull. She later divorced him in 1804. Then she married Colonel James H. Blood.
Definition of the 19th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex.
She listened to the voices in her head that told her she would one day rise from poverty and become the ruler of the nation. She followed that advice even though she wasn't even considered a citizen. This got her much attention.
Definition of the women's suffrage movement. The stance in which women fought for equality. Women would stand outside for 8+ hours just to get attention from the press.
Women should be able to marry or divorce whomever they wanted. She addressed Congress on the issue as well.
During the 18th century, women weren't considered citizens because the men thought that women were uneducated. It was against the law for women to vote. If the husband wished to divorce their wife, then they would receive everything, including the children. Susan B. Anthony was an advocate for women's rights.
Women asked the president at the time, and many men, how long they would have to wait for freedom. They wondered how long they would have to wait for liberty and demanded the amendment to the United States regarding women.
9 things you should know about Victoria Woodhull. 1. She had almost no formal education because she was too busy taking care of her 10 siblings. 2. Victoria worked as a traveling clairvoyant. The definition of clairvoyant is the claim to have a supernatural ability. 3. Victoria and her sister Tennessee were also the first women stockbrokers on Wall Street. 4. She was the first woman to address a congressional committee. 5. She spent Election Day in jail because she called Henry Ward the preacher an adulterous hypocrite.
6. She believed and fought for free love. 7. She spent half her life in a foreign land, then soon moved to the United States. 8. She was verbally abused by many men, including her father. 9. She lost the support of many leaders such as Susan B. Anthony.
Victoria and Susan B. Anthony were enemies. They had the same ideas but different personalities and priorities. They both fought for women's rights, but Susan B. Anthony had everything to lose, while on the other hand, Victoria had nothing. The definition of free love. Love whomever you want without being judged.
Definition of free love.
Free love. Love that doesn't cost anything.
Believed in love, not war. So I don't know if that expression, that's where it grew out of, or it started earlier. But to me, free love would be freedom of love, and you can love anybody that you feel that you want to love, that you can love. That's a freedom of choice, I think. Is that what you're asking me?
Free love? I guess I'd have to say being allowed to love any person that you feel you can or feel you want to.
Why do you think women should have had the right to vote?
Because we're just as responsible and intelligent as men.
And what would you do in this situation if you didn't have the right to vote?
If I didn't have the right to vote, I might join a group that was trying to get the vote pushed for women.
She received much criticism during the 18th century because people during that time thought it was wrong to love someone of the same sex. Victoria Woodhull once said, "It makes no difference who or where you are, old or young, black or white, pagan, Jew or Christian. I want to love you all and be loved by you all, and I mean to have your love."
Many people booed her and protested at her campaigns. They also made discriminating remarks about her past and said anything and everything to make her angry.
Many people have forgotten about Victoria Woodhull over the years, but she should be remembered for taking a stand in history.
After divorcing and remarrying a wealthy banker, Woodhull lived the rest of her days in England with her family. She remained active in the women's suffrage movement, charities, and giving lectures, and running a newspaper called Humanitarian. She died on June 9, 1927 in London.